Hey, hola, my friends. I'm Charles Collins, and welcome again. Welcome to Together We Grow Sustainable Gardening Projects. Now, I'd like to thank all of you for the amazing feedback that you've been giving me. And if you are a subscriber to our page, thank you, because if you aren't, then you realize the tips and advice that you give me, I actually put it to use, and we do something special on our page, on our channel. We only have one boss. I only have one boss. Well, shh, don't tell Rose. But I only have one boss, and that's you. That's you, the subscriber. You guys let me know what you want, and I try to make this happen for you and our projects. Now, today is sort of something special, because a lot of you asked me about this gutter system, and I want to explain to you, not even explain, I want to show you that you can do this. You can make a basic version of this system for less than 40 bucks. You could go to Lowe's right now and do it. Trust me. How can you do it? Well, hold on. We'll talk about that. Now, me, personally, I love all forms of sustainable gardening. I love all forms of gardening. But some can apply and some can't. For instance, if you live in an apartment, you can't have this huge aquaponics rig. You can't even have that trade rig over there. But what you can have is your very own gutter system. And ours is a ours is a horizontal gutter system, but we don't use the downspout. That's the most important part. Now, when you say what's the downspout, I'll tell you. Check this out. Okay, so let's use an old part of our our rainwater capture system as an example, because this is really where I got the idea from. You know how you have your horizontal spouts to capture rain, and then your rain sends it down a vertical spout. You see, this is kind of weird looking. Ours is flexible. Even our gutter trays look a little our gutters look a little weird. And you also may notice that we have this on top of it. Now, back in the days, this used to, you go back years and years ago in our videos, this used to do our water capturing for us. But the whole time, and I fell in love with this type of gutter system when I saw it on the commercials. It was like, prevent leaves, never have icky gutters again. And it just stuck with me, because I had already been in a hydroponics, and I was like, what if I could apply the two together? Now, make no mistake about it, I'm not the one who invented this gutter system. I'm not. But what I'm telling you is, without a lot of the hard work that these pros are putting into it, for about $40, you can go to a big box store and you can have one of these yourself, full of your favorite vegetables. Now, if you go to a box store and you look way in the back in home improvements, you'll indeed see the variety of rain gutter systems. They do come in different shapes, pretty much the same thing though. You have a pipe or a tube, not even a tube, an open-ended pipe or tube, where the water falls from your roof, goes into here, and then another pipe would take it and bring it down. But this, the one that we used to grow with, this isn't the downspout. This is the actual vertical rain capture part of your system. And I'll show you why this comes in handy. Because if you go to a box store, you look for this specific type. Let's take a look from the side. We actually trim this down, I'll tell you in a bit. But you look for this type, and right next to it, you'll find this. And this is a cover that fits in here. And you'll say, well, Chuck, how does that cover fit in there? Pardon these holes I pre-drilled. How does this cover fit in there? Well, come on, guys, don't be silly like this. It doesn't. But let's take a closer look at that cover. Now let's take a look at that cover. And we'll see, hey, there's an indentation here, there's one here, there's one here, and there's a line here. See, this line travels all the way down, vertically, across this cover. The trick is, if you cut this cover from this line all the way down, it fits perfectly inside of this. So now, as a sustainable gardener, I'm pretty sure you're already thinking, hey man, well, if that's the case, what would we do about the ends? Well, in that same area of the store, and I mean these things: 1, the system gutter; 2, the cover; 3, the cap ends are right next to each other. These, I think, cost $6 for the duo. The gutters themselves, they come in I think they come in from 4 feet to 12 feet. I think the 4-foot one is like $10 and the 12-foot one is $20, I believe, something like that, but don't quote me on that. The covers, round about the same thing. So let's see if you have a windowsill, your typical windowsill. You would cut this to fit into that windowsill, and heck, you probably have 2 windowsills just off of this one piece. Now, you could also, like I said, you could also go to the store and just buy them in the smaller pieces as is. I just like to create because that's my jam. But you would cut this down to size to fit in your windowsill. And those 2 end caps that we talked about, 1 on each end. Pardon me, I just did that backwards. I love me. 1 on each end. 1 there, and the other one would go here. Pretty simple, right? No complications so far, my friend. Well, what would the next step be then? Let's see. So then, I guess you'd say to yourself, well, how am I supposed to put plants in this thing right here? Well, we have to make ports for that. Now, in this particular system that we're building, we're going to be using 2-inch net cups. And when it comes to using a 2-inch net cup, I want to point out one thing. I have a special drill bit that I'm going to show you, saw bit that I use to cut the holes, but if you want to do them on your own, and I also encourage you guys, you don't need any of these specialized tools I'm showing you. It just makes it easier for me because I've been doing this for a while now. But when it comes to the net cups, you want to cut around this line here. You want to make your circle on your plastic, on your cover, around this line here so that this cup fits comfortably looped right in. As is such, we'll be using, well, I'll use my drill. If you have a drill, that's nice, use it. And I also have a 2-inch saw bit. Now, I bought this years ago when I started building hydroponic bucket systems, and this has come in handy more times than I can count. I actually have 3 or 4 sizes of these now. But you would put this in a drill. Make sure you wear your safety glasses. And make sure you have a piece of board under here. And you would drill. And this makes the perfect size hole. A tip about when you're drilling that hole, all right? When you initially are making the hole in your piece, in your cover, all right? You want to have the drill going forward so that it can get that initial cut in. After that, you want to immediately switch it to reverse, so that then it's getting that circle in, but it's not going to pull and drag and possibly ruin or mess up your plastic cover. So that's a food for thought right there. So let's see. Now we've got our plastic. It's been cut to size. Our plastic top has been cut to size. Our pipe has been cut to size. We've used our 2-inch bit, and we put a series of ports in here. I try to keep the ports so that the actual port holes themselves are 6 inches apart, because in a system like this, you're primarily growing leafy greens, things of that nature. I would not recommend doing tomatoes, peppers, or anything like this in a system like this, because remind you, this particular one that we're building is to sit on your windowsill. Now at this part, we have to figure we need some way for this water to drain back out. Well, in this instance, we took a 1-inch drill bit, pardon me, and this is a 1/2-inch grommet. Now, it's a 1/2 inch on the inside, but it takes about 1 inch, it takes a 1-inch drill bit to make this size hole. We then inserted this 1/2-inch elbow tube. 1/2-inch elbow. Now, this line that you see right here, this is about 1 foot of this blue line of the blue tubing. And once again, I buy this stuff by the bundles, guys. I buy them in bulk because then you can break down the prices, and it does seem more realistic and more feasible, because I build these rigs for everyone. I want to build one for you. Actually, I don't want to build one for you. I really want you to build this one on your own. But seeing that I buy it in bulk, this is about maybe 50 cents worth of tube. This ball valve right here, this is I think this is a 2-pack for $2.50, something like that on Amazon. But you see, we drilled our hole, we put our grommet in, We have our 2-inch, our half-inch elbow. Now give me a few minutes and we're gonna put all of this together and we're gonna see how this rig looks. Give me a sec. Hey, hold on my friends. So check it out. Now here we have it. We have our top, the cover, with our 3/8/6/7 portholes cut in them. You take a look. Neck cups fit perfectly, just like we said. A couple of things to keep in mind. We also left a little bit of room down here so that we could actually have the little hanging hooks that you can also get that sit right next to this. The same stuff. They're all next to each other in a big box store, so that this can easily clip onto a fence. You can have it click onto a railing. You can have it sit over your own patio or over your balcony. It's that simple, guys. There's no reason you can do it. The only thing you have to do is plant that first seed so that together we'll grow. Peace and blessings, my friends. Take it easy.